Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1990's Represent. We're in our second cycle of 1997, and we're covering an album in this episode. In this episode, we're talking about Aquarium by Aqua. Obviously, repping the Aqua shirt here. I picked up at the Aqua concert last year, which was awesome. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. But yeah, today we're talking about the Eurodance classic iconic album Aquarium. I have some notes here about it. We're going to discuss the album and then get into the track list and all that kind of stuff here. So let me actually pull this up here. There we go. Aquarium by Aqua, first released, depending on where you are located, March 26th, 1997. That was the release in Denmark. In the coming months after that, they released in other European territories, and then it was released in North America on September 9th, 1997. So basically either March in Europe, it was like March, April, May, that kind of like time period, and then in the fall in the US. I ended up actually getting to listen to a copy of this album kind of early. I don't think it was as early as March, but it was definitely like more in the spring because my best friend in middle school and high school, his older brother was or maybe still is, a DJ, and he would DJ for like all the high school dances. I remember we would help him out with those dances sometimes, like packing up equipment and like putting equipment out and all that kind of stuff. So we would help him with that. But his brother and a friend of his brother had like a DJ company that they would do like weddings and high school dances and stuff like that. And they ended up importing this album from Europe. So I ended up hearing it, like a few months before most people in the United States maybe listened to it. So he imported it and we played it. We really liked it. It was like a lot of just fun, good dance music. Like definitely music that fit into kind of like the vibe that they would usually bring to like the high school dances. It was usually a lot of really good, just kind of like dance music. I remember there being like a lot of current hits, but like some remixes as well, because they would also sometimes like remix stuff on the fly, because they would like. I also did a little bit of messing around with the mixing boards. Like my friend took one of the boards and we were like hooking up multiple CD players to it at one point and just kind of crossfading and stuff like that. So it was a fun time, and I just remember like we were in like his brother's room. He's like, "Hey, I got this CD from Europe. Let's check it out." I think he had already heard it, but we ended up like playing it one night and having a blast with it. So got to hear it a little bit early. This is Aqua's debut studio album. A few years later, they put out Aquarius, which is their second. And then they, over the years after that, they did a couple of like greatest hits collections. And their most recent album, which I actually covered on another series on my channel, I'll leave a link in the description to check that out. But 2011, they released Megalomania, which is their third studio album. They haven't released anything since. But with the popularity of the Barbie movie, they had Barbie Girl was obviously in that soundtrack, or at least like using elements of it. They did a tour last year, and I went to that, and it was awesome. I remember in high school there was like a really cool thing we did. Basically I think initially it was only a homecoming, but then eventually they added a second one in toward the end of the school year, closer to prom, and that was the air band, like lip syncing, like performances and stuff like that. Friends of mine did it a couple times. I did a couple solo ones. I remember doing like "My Name Is" by Eminem. I think that was like the last one I did, because that would have been my senior year. The beginning of my senior year, the fall one, I did Kung Fu Fighting. That was fun. But the biggest one we ever did, me and my friends, was "Rapper's Delight" by Sugar Hill Gang, and that we did like the entire like 14-minute long song, or however long it is. 14, maybe like 10. I forget exactly how long that track is, but we had a lot of fun doing that. But the prior air band in my junior year, I don't remember if this group won, but if they didn't, they probably should have. But they did like a whole like reenactment of Barbie Girl. This would have been like the kind of around the time the album came out in the United States, because the United States was September 9th, 1997. That first air band would have been closer to the end of September. but I wouldn't be surprised if like my friend's brother like let them like maybe even like clue them into this band. He's like, hey, I got this album, from Europe. Why don't you guys check it out? They did a great airband performance because basically it's like it's lip syncing, but it's also just like wearing costumes and just having a blast with it. They definitely some of my favorite memories in high school were doing those airbands. Um, Tons of singles off this. Let me actually count. There's one, two, three, four, five, six. I think seven out of I think there's like 11 or 12 tracks on the album. So a ton of singles. All the singles are really good. So the singles off this album are Roses Are Red. That's a classic. My Oh My. That's also awesome. Barbie Girl. Probably their most popular song. It's not my favorite overall. At least maybe not overall favorite on this album, but it's still definitely the song that put them on the map. So yeah, Barbie Girl, Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones might actually be my favorite track from them overall and on this album. Absolutely love Dr. Jones. Another single was Lollipop, Candyman. There's also Turn Back Time and Good Morning Sunshine. So we actually double checked. So there's, yeah, Roses Are Red, My Oh My, Barbie Girl, Dr. Jones, Lollipop, Turn Back Time, and Good Morning. Yeah, seven. So seven tracks on this album ended up becoming singles, which was really good because all those singles are super solid. Some of the best songs on the album. To me, this album though it's a no skip album. I absolutely have a blast whenever I listen to it. It's just very basic pop, like bubblegum pop dance music. Like there's nothing really too deep about like any of the songs really. But sometimes that's kind of what you want. It's kind of maybe sometimes what you need. It's just a great time of an album. Like it's absolutely one of my favorite albums from the 90s. Um, let's see here. This is apparently, according to my research, the third best selling album in Denmark. It's got like some 400 plus thousand copies sold there. That was as of I think like let me actually bring that research up here of when it was released. That's as of 2001, so it's probably more now. But third best-selling album in Denmark, debuted at number 15 on the U.S. Billboard 200, went triple platinum, and all that. So, but now we're going to get to a really fun thing, even though it's not directly related to the 90s because they did other songs last year. And then the final thing will be the track listing, so I can close the notebook here. But they did a somewhat small. I don't remember exactly how many like shows they played, but they did a U.S. tour. They got kind of put back into the spotlight with Barbie Girl and with the Barbie movie. So to capitalize on that, they went on a tour. I think they probably did some other countries as well. But I went to the concert and it was an absolute blast. I don't know if what my expectations on the concert were, but it was just a incredibly good time. Like it was like I didn't necessarily know that I would enjoy them live as much as I did. It was an absolute blast. They played basically all their classics. A couple songs that I hadn't heard of off of Megalomania because I didn't listen to Megalomania until after I saw that show. But there was at one point where I'm gonna have to bring up this pronunciation of this name. So let me actually just go here. There. So at one point, Lead, I think it's how you pronounce her name, one of the lead singers, she actually was crowd surfing during part of the show, like very briefly, but it was weird because I have like not in a very long time seen a band member actually crowd surf at like a show. It just feels like a thing that's like very like 80s or very 90s. It's just been a long time since I've seen it, and actually like seeing her do it was like that was kind of like the Joker meme is what I just saw happen was not on my bingo card for that year or whatever it was. But yeah, the show was just incredible. They had a couple really good openers as well that were kind of set the tone. But it was just a blast from start to finish. It was an amazing concert. Like it was at like a smaller venue. It was all general admission, so I didn't get there right when they opened the doors, but I was still maybe just a few rows back from the stage. tons of fun. It was kind of like akin to like basically just having like a very just basically nostalgia overload. Basically, maybe not overload. Overload might not be the right term, but it was just kind of like this is awesome. This is like very like I said, the music isn't super deep or anything like that, but the vibes are good. It was just a very fun concert. At one point, I think Renee, the other singer, was mentioning something about potentially doing a tour in 2024. I don't know if that's going to happen because at one point he kind of made everybody sit on the ground. He's like, everybody like sit on the ground, and like on count of three, like we're gonna all jump up at the same time, and we're going to hope that Aqua does a tour in 2024. If they do a tour in around here again, I'll definitely go. Highly recommended if they come through. It's a definitely a very good time. But now we're going to get into the track listing on this album. We're going to go off the list here, and then I have actually owned the album on vinyl as well. And this one has, I think, one extra track. So I don't exactly know which version of the album this is. I don't think it's an original pressing because it's like I have like a 2022 reissue. But we'll get to the track list, and we're actually going to go back. Let me just bring this down here. So the track listing on the studio album from 1997 has 11 tracks, and it comes in about 40 minutes. So it's very like light, very digestible. If digestible is a term I can use to describe music. Basically, like I just use it as a term where it's not like a huge like playtime. There's not a lot of like deep songs. Like it's like something like I said, not every song needs to be super deep and like have like just tons of like meaning and like subtext and all that. This is just good, fun pop music. So 40, let me see, 40 minutes roughly, 11 tracks, 12 on the vinyl. So we'll get to the final track difference there. Track one is Happy Boys and Happy Girls. It's like everything on this album is an absolute just bop as far as it just being fun. So track one is Happy Boys and Girls. Track two is My Oh My. Track three is Barbie Girl, probably like I mentioned earlier, their most iconic and most well-known song. Like I said, personally not my overall favorite, but it's still a lot of fun. Track four is Good Morning Sunshine. Track five is Dr. Jones. Absolutely love that song. Music video for it is amazing as well. The Barbie Girl music video is also awesome. So track five was Dr. Jones. Track six is Heat of the Night. Track 7 is Be a Man. Track 8 is Lollipop Candyman. Track 9 is Roses Are Red. Track 10 is Turn Back Time. And track 11 is Calling You. So the version I have, let me see, it goes up to Calling You, and it adds in a 12th track. Let me actually just show this here. So 12th track on the vinyl release that I have here is Didn't I. So that wasn't on the original album. I think it may have been included as like a bonus track on like a deluxe edition, or maybe like a different, like a pressing from like a different region. But the vinyl that I bought, I picked that up earlier in the year, has that other track on it, and I think they maybe have played that. I think maybe Didn't I got played at the concert I went to. Let me actually just bring up the set list of that concert just to see here. So I'll just load this in here. Let me see which one I was at. All right, here we go. Yeah, so Didn't I was played at the show I went to. So the show I went to, tracks had 18 tracks, and 19 if you count the encore. So at the concert, it was Cartoon Heroes was first song. Then we had Back to the 80s. Back to the 80s, I think, is off of like a Greatest Hits collection. Song 3 was Calling You. You had Playmate to Jesus at song 4. I think that's off of one of their other albums. It's on Megalomania, I think. Then you had Around the World after that. Around the World, Happy Boys and Girls, Good Morning Sunshine, Turn Back Time, Dirty Little Pop Song, My Mama Said, My Oh My, We Belong to the Sea, Didn't I? So yeah, they played Didn't I at the show I go to. Then there was Bumblebee, Halloween, Barbie Girl, Lollipop Candyman, Dr. Jones, and the encore being Roses Are Red. So that song, like I said, the first time I actually heard Dan and I was at that concert, and then when I picked up the vinyl, like a month or so later, it had that on there as well. But this album here is just a Euro dance classic. It's like pure bubblegum kind of pop slash dance music. But like I said earlier in the video, sometimes that's exactly what you need. It's exactly what you want. And this album has it by the boatload. It's an awesome album. Highly recommended, especially if you're into like dance music. And it's a great way to start off our second cycle in 1997. With that said, that's going to be the end of this video. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back again in a few days with a movie. I'm really excited to watch for this because I haven't seen it in a while. And the thought kind of just came to me when I was like thinking of like, I don't want to give too much away about it, but I was just like, hey, what's this person's best movie? I'm like, oh yeah, it was like this person was in this movie and then they were in that movie. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the next movie for this next cycle is going to be. So we'll be back again in a few days with that, and then we'll be back again after that with another video game from 1997 before moving into 1998 again. But that's going to do it for now. So remember, so thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.